Hello YouTube, this is FJ55 Iron Pig here with another video, and kind of keeping in line with my last two videos about shaving and deodorant. We're going to go to something just a little bit cooler, but it's not necessarily tactical or anything like that, or EDC. As always, thanks for clicking on my video, and I do appreciate you watching, whether you comment or not. What we have here are cooking knives, cutlery if you will. I've been a cook in many restaurants, Sauté and Saucier, as well as a really nice resort. One thing, if you're a cook, you have a hodgepodge of different knives from different makers, different qualities, and that's just a natural course of things. Just like buying holsters for your gun, you're going to have so many holsters, ones you never use anymore because they suck, but you just don't get rid of them or you trade them out. That's what I've done through my life, and I do have that. I might show that here if you guys like this video. I might show it anyways. But these I've had for several years now. They're made by Analon. I didn't buy them all at once. I don't have that much money. I bought them individually. I went into Bed Bath & Beyond, again, shopping with my wife, or rather my wife was shopping, I was following, and these were on sale. To give you an idea, these knives are awesome. Every single one of them in this series, I don't know if they make the exact same type anymore, come with this protective sheath, and it's hard plastic. Basically, it's a like Kydex in a sense, and it's molded to the shape, size, and the contours of each individual blade. Then it's cool, you know, laser cut or whatever, Analon. I don't know, that kind of shows up very well, but it's on both sides, so it doesn't show through very well. Anyways, it slides down over through the knife, and when you get over to the hilt, it just pops over it, just like a Kydex holster for your gun. This one's a little loose, but who cares? The blades themselves, all of them are full flat ground, whether they're scalloped or straight edge. This one's very well used. I actually take this one camping. You know, if you have this in your hand, it's a little intimidating. It's scratched up, it's loved, I use it a lot. Just about every week, this one. And I keep all my blades very, very sharp. It's dangerous to have any knife, especially a knife that you cook and cut with, on a frequent basis that's dull. You will injure yourself, and it will be nasty injury. If it's razor sharp, and you cut yourself, yeah, it's probably going to go into your bone, but it'll be a cleaner cut and it'll heal faster. This is the 10-inch blade, chef's knife. It's actually not that heavy. It's a wonderful, wonderful knife. You know, I didn't even check out what type of steel it is before I started talking about it. That's the 10-inch, which is 25 centimeter chef's knife. Forged German, what do we got here? CRMOV steel, chromoly essentially, and it's ice hardened and glass finished. Unfortunately, it's made in China, even though it's German steel. But the quality control on these is out frickin' standing. I think this knife was 20-30 bucks. Normally it was around $80 just for the knife when they were new. The handle is a rubberized handle. It's got the same type of metal on the end cap. It's wonderful. The choil is smoothed out, no sharp edges. They're fairly easy to sharpen. It's a harder steel, so it holds the edge a long time. And it takes abuse. It works great. That's a 10-inch chef's knife. Then, probably the main workhorse, again, it has the same holder on there, or protective case. This right here is the 8-inch chef knife, exact same steel, full flat ground, exact same dimensions, everything just in the shorter version. The handle's rubberized. I got this one wet just a little bit ago, and even when wet, it doesn't shake in the hand. It's a great grip. It doesn't fatigue your hand. It's contoured, as you can see there, a little bubble that comes up right there, and it fits the hand, at least mine, wonderfully. Whether you're hanging back, you choke up on it, or if you're doing some fine work, it works as well. Yes, that is the proper grip if you're a cook. You don't put your finger on the top because it wiggles side to side and it's a little dangerous and you don't get a good cut. Like this, you have more control. But enough of that. We'll keep going through the knives here. The next one I have is a Santoko, however you pronounce it correctly. I'm not Japanese, so sorry. And this one is scalloped. As you can see those little cutouts on the blade, yes, it's on both sides. It's not a traditional one-sided. It's a dual-sided grind. And that's also full flat ground. Everything's the same. These scallops help reduce friction. They create little pockets of air in essence. So if you ever cut cheese with a solid blade, like this one, regardless of the nice belly it has, it's great at slicing, but it has no scallops on it. So when you start cutting through something like cheese or very, very cold meat, if it's partially frozen because you want to keep it together while you cut through and get good even cuts, it's going to catch and drag, and you might have to saw it back and forth a little bit. This one, because it has scallops, you start tip first and you slide right through. Of course there's going to be resistance, but not as much because of the scalloping. The Santoku, my wife loves this one. I use it a lot myself. It's just wonderful. And as you can tell there, the little daylight coming underneath the blade, it's got a belly too. Having it perfectly flat like a Chinese knife isn't necessarily the best thing to have. For slicing, that is. Next up is the baby brother to that. Just like the chef's knives, you have a big one and a small one. Here is the small Santoku. This is great for bell peppers, onions, whatever you want, or smaller tasks. I can see there were some sharpening mishaps as well. Now this one's a 5-inch blade. And you know, I didn't tell you the blade length on the big Santoku. If it matters to you, 7-inch. Next, you have the serrated knife. It's not like some crazy ever-sharp serrations. I don't know if you, yeah, you can kind of see there. Similar to like a horrible steak knife or a butter knife. Only difference is it's very sharp. I've never sharpened this after 5 years, 6 years, something like that. And this one's a 5-inch blade also. Exact same thing. It's got belly on it too. All these knives have a belly, which is great for slicing. Let's see what else we got. Yet another Santoku. This is the baby one. This is a 2? No. Yeah, this is a 3-inch knife. And it's the same story there. As you can see the daylight coming through, it's got a belly also. Great knife. Everything exactly the same. Full flat ground. It's a little wet there. And by the way, I've never had these rust. I've thrown them in their scabbards, soaking wet, and no problems at all. They come clean very well too. I guess that's the glass blasted stainless on there allows for less friction, things that stick to it. That one's really good. Wife uses it a lot. This one, I've lost the cover for it somewhere in the kitchen. It's probably behind the stove. This is a paring knife, and this is a 3-inch one also. Yes, 3 inches also. Everything's exactly the same. This one's been sharpened a lot more, so it doesn't have as much of a belly, but it does have a little bit of a belly. Right there should be where the belly goes out like that, but it's actually becoming more concave. This one works a lot. It's a workhorse. This has been used more than any of the other knives. Been on lots of camping trips too. This one, the last one that I have in this series, I don't have all of them, is the bird's beak. As you can see, it's curved downward like a bird's beak. Obviously this does not have the same type of belly because this goes along with the paring knife that I showed you previously. And it's good for carving in the fruits that are rounded, or vegetables that are rounded, so you don't cut a straight cut. It's actually pretty nice. It's a 2.5-incher. Same full flat ground, everything's the same. It's not scalloped though. Not that it matters for something like this, because you're not going to use it for heavy tasks. Don't use that one as much. If the other knives are dirty and no one's cleaned them yet, then don't go to the last knife that's clean. Well, that's my review on the Analon cooking knives. They're wonderful. If you find them, I do recommend you pick them up. You're not going to find them at Analon anymore, at least in this model series. I haven't looked online to see what they are now or the prices. But if you were to buy all this, roughly it would have been, let's see, 80, 60, we'll say 2, 3. This is about $400 worth of knife right there, potentially, if you buy them individually, not including tax. Wonderful knives. I only spent between $100 and $200 for all of them. Shop around, do your research. You can find deals out there. Thanks for watching, guys. I know it's getting a little late into the video. It's 8 minutes and 45 seconds or so. But again, thanks for viewing. Rate me, comment, good, bad, or indifferent. I do appreciate it. Give a thumbs up if you like it, or subscribe. Thanks for watching. Be safe out there, guys.